There may not be much in bloom right now from a foliage perspective, but I can always count on the birds. Look at them all. I know parakeets are like technically a pest, but I love them. They're so cute. Wait, let me get my phone. Look at them. Good morning. I've been working on my winter morning routine for honestly years and years at this point, and I feel like it just keeps getting better every year. I have very intentionally curated this routine specifically for when your external environment makes jumping out of bed, seizing the day, having a super perky morning, when life is making doing that just feel extra hard. Mornings at the moment are cold and dark, and it's the time of year that I really start to feel the most anxious. And weirdly, I feel like I've only truly pinpointed that it's exactly now when my anxiety spikes, probably the most in the entire year. Like this year, I've only really realized it now. Last week I was like, oh, it's happening again. Even though literally 2 weeks ago, I was feeling so good. I think I just really believe that the last 2 weeks of Jan are sent straight from the seventh circle of hell. And I find that the best way to fight it is honestly just to cut off those down, blue, anxiousy feelings right at the knees first thing in the morning, so you don't carry any of that energy, any of those vibes with you throughout the rest of your day. So I'm going to show you the morning routine that is going to get me through the next couple of weeks. It's going to get me through the rest of midwinter and help make sure that my days are good. So step one, you've kind of already seen. I wake up, open the curtains, and even in the depths of winter, even if it's raining, I open the windows and breathe in the fresh air. I wish I was lucky enough to either wake up at 9 o'clock once the sun is already fully up, or I guess live in the southern hemisphere where January is delightful. But for those of us that are in the northern hemisphere, even though it's dark outside, I promise you, just having your first properly deep breath of the day be fresh air from outside, in a way, it being cold makes it, honestly, somehow, I'm romanticizing it, I know, but that's what you gotta do. Makes it somehow even nicer. So I get up, open my curtains, open the windows, and I take 3 deep breaths of fresh air. I then quickly close the window because otherwise I'd freeze the whole house. Then once I've done my tongue scrape, brush my teeth, splash my face with water, then start step 2. I set a mental timer for 30 minutes. And this is 30 minutes that is just for you. I like to think that no matter how busy my morning is, this 30 minutes, like I can always do this 30 minutes, even if some of the rest of the morning routine might get sacrificed. During this 30 minutes, we have no phone, no scroll, no phone whatsoever. Make a tea. I wake up the rest of the house by opening the curtains and the blinds and everything everywhere else in the house. I light a couple of candles because we are romanticizing the darkness, and I sit down with my book. This realistically, once you've done kind of all the rest of the posturing, becomes like a 15-minute stint. If you're not much of a reader, it doesn't have to be sitting down with a book. Any hobby or any activity that gets you kind of in the zone of whatever the hobby is, just to really delay or slow down your brain from like diving into the rest of the day and getting really carried away with your to-do lists and your worries. So if you're not much of a reader, that could be 15 minutes of scrapbooking, 15 minutes of a puzzle, 15 minutes of crocheting or knitting. I am such a strong advocate of like the good old-fashioned hobby. I brought hobbies back in 2025, but I'm bringing them back for me again in 2026, even stronger. 15 minutes, however much of the 30 minutes you can have to sit down and do something just calm and slow with your tea and a candle. I promise gets your brain in just like such a nice place. Oh, I should have also said actually, if you're a journaler, this is also the perfect time to journal. Okay, and then on to step 3, we finally need to get out of our PJs. So next on the list is getting outside for some movement and just honestly getting outside in general. I am doing like a new workout planny thing, which I'm actually really enjoying. And I know everybody always says that the trick to staying consistent with like fitness and working out and stuff is finding something that you actually enjoy. I mean, I honestly thought that I was just one of those people that I was like, yeah, but I don't enjoy any of it. So that just, maybe it'll just never be me. But this new routine that I'm doing, I'm really kind of vibing with. I'm running twice a week, and then amongst that, I'm doing some strength training to basically support my runs. I'm doing like a couch to 5k thing. I've done couch to 5k a couple of times now, but I think I said this in another video, but basically I've just learned that as soon as you stop running, you basically have to start again. I'm doing couch 5k again, but I'm actually doing it on Runner this time. and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm gonna go do my run. I'm so glad the sun has come out. Oh, before I go actually, I need to put some deodorant on. And how cute is my new deodorant case? Honestly, you know you're doing your life right when even your deodorant case gives you like a little boost of like dopamine, serotonin first thing in the morning. Hot for Valentine's Day. I love it. I am working with Wild on this part of the video. You guys know if you've been around here before, I've been working with Wild for years. It's the only deodorant that I use. It was one of the first swaps that I made when I really wanted to start becoming more sustainable. And the amount of single-use plastic waste in your bathroom products is kind of crazy when you think about it. And Wild's main mission is to try and reduce that. So we are throwing away less. All of Wild's products are refillable and compostable. So you know you're doing your bit when you use Wild deodorant. The scents are also always so nice. Like you smell so good when you got this stuff on. This new one, this new limited edition Valentine's collection is called Peachy Kisses. I am such a sucker for peach in every single one of its forms. Anything is ever peach flavored. I'll show you how easy it is to swap out your little compostable refills because honestly it's the simplest thing. You wind it all the way down to the bottom, pop the base out, pop your insert on top and then stick it back in and wind it up. This has honestly come at a perfect time for me because I just finished my old scent. So nice. I think if we're all being honest, one of the main things we worry about with natural deodorants, like Wild has no nasties in it whatsoever. It has no aluminium, no sulfates, no parabens. One of the main things that you worry about, or maybe it's the main thing you worry about, is whether it actually works, because we don't want to smell. Like we use deodorant so that we don't have to smell. And if you're a sweaty gal, like I'm quite a sweaty person, it really matters that the deodorant actually works. When it comes to Wild, I obviously can personally endorse it, but it's also been scientifically proven to give you 24 hours protection. So you know that it works. Also, just in case you didn't know, they also have other refillable products that aren't deodorant. And I have to say in this house, we are madly obsessed with the Wild body wash. I don't know what it is. There is something about, I guess to be fair, it's also in the Wild deodorant formula, but there is something in both the deodorant formula and the body wash formula that is so hydrating. It makes my skin feel so soft. Exactly the same as the deodorant. Packaging that the refills come in is compostable. You literally just pop it in like that, stick in the pump, twist it round. There you go. And I'm sorry, but how cute is that in the shelf of your shower during February? I love it. Anyway, if you'd like to give Wild a try, you can use my code Ellen2026, which will get you 20% off. You can also scan the QR code on the screen. I'll pop a link in the description box. And as always, thank you so much to Wild for working with me on this part of the video. I love supporting brands that I just use naturally every single day. Okay, got my deodorant on. I'm prepped for my run. This is like the pre-run fear, the pre-run scaries. But I know how good it makes me feel when I do it. So let's get outside, let's get some fresh air. Let's see what nature's got to say for itself. I think the sun was out for the span of those 3 minutes when I was getting dressed because I fear it may be gone again already. Already excited for my coffee and my breakfast, which comes on the other side of it. Let's go. Time for breakfast. I am a 3 meals a day kind of a person. I'm a foodie kind of a person. So I want all of my meals to be delicious. I mean, that probably sounds obvious, but I know there are some people that are just honestly not that fast. Me though, I really need every meal to be great, and I need to start my day with something that tastes great, especially during these miserable months. Like, food brings me so much joy. So really, it's not the time to be overly restricting yourself and eating miserable food. Like, no, 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 no. However, I am prioritizing, I should shut this. I am prioritizing nourishing my body at this time of year. I feel like this is when our body needs like all the goodness, and any foods that risk making us feel like more sluggish and more slow and just like adding to that kind of slumpy feeling is like not good. So I am prioritizing on giving my body all the nutrition it needs, and kind of just as part of that, having really high protein meals. Like my meals are all now protein and fiber first, because those are things that are gonna keep me feeling energized. They're gonna sustain me for a long period of time till lunch. So on the days I'm in a rush, I've got my overnight oats, which I am trying to meal prep every single Sunday. You can't necessarily meal prep them for the week. I kind of eat mine within 3 days, but for example, right now, when I'm like deep in my luteal phase and I'm just so hungry, I'll probably eat my overnight oats as like either a snack a little bit later or as my lunch if I'm feeling lazy, whatever. But because I do have the time today, we're gonna have eggs. I'm loving this combo that I'm doing at the moment. It's eggs and cottage cheese and there's fruit, and oh, it's just so good. So let's make some breakfast. Yum, that was so good. Now, finally. If you are somebody that is prone to feeling anxious or jittery or just, you know, the whole theme of this entire video, I cannot tell you, I've actually been pretty good at it, and I've been good at it because it's easy to be good at it now that I've noticed how much of a difference it makes. But I now only have my coffee after I've had my food. So once I've had my high protein breakfast, okay, it turns out I can't do this with one hand. Once I've had my high protein breakfast, then I can have my coffee. And it's made the biggest difference. I know none of this stuff is rocket science, but this is me just personally endorsing all of these small things add up so much. And it also just makes so much sense to like finally make my coffee when I'm gonna sit down and start getting organized. And like that's when I need the next burst of energy, because I'm starting to feel myself like, ooh, I'm more like comfy. I've had my warm shower, I've had some breakfast. I'm feeling like cozy, you know, but now's the time to pick it up. It's time for a coffee. Yum. First sip of coffee with a sprinkle of cinnamon. Yum. Okay, so now I am officially sitting down to start my day. This is definitely the time in the morning for me where like my stress can spike a little bit, especially if I've just had like a really lovely, like gentle, peaceful morning, and then all of a sudden I open my emails, I look at my to-do list, and all of a sudden all of that like rush, you're not productive unless you're stressed out of your mind kind of energy starts to get to me. But for my setup, I've got my coffee, I've got my laptop, I've got my 3 notebooks. I actually don't really need all 3 of them to get through my day. I pretty much only need the black one, which has my to-do list in it. But I've got my notebook, I've got my Notion, which is like the digital organizer that just controls my whole life. And the first thing that I do is, if I've done my evening routine right, if I did yesterday correctly, then I already have a to-do list of the most important things that maybe I didn't get done yesterday, or kind of new things that cropped up towards the end of the day that I knew I wanted to get done today. I should have, which today I do, thank you yesterday, Ellen. I have a list of 3 things that yesterday I decided was going to be really important for me to get done today. So I can review my short to-do list, have a look at my calendar, and then I will start reviewing my emails. Before I open my emails and before I have like all the notifications hit me, I really am trying to remind myself during winter that being in a rush is not a sign of productivity, and I can be ambitious without being anxious. I can want things without that having to create stress in my body, and the whole year does not take place in January. However much you get done in a day in January is not how much you'll get done in a day in May or in any other week of the entire year. It's just today. I'm really trying to take my signals from nature, slow down, not rush, not rush, not rush. Like, that is what I want to do this year. I don't want to be considered like a rushy, busy person. And I think you can still, to be honest, get just as much done. You can probably get more done if you don't have that like rush, rush, rush energy. So I'm trying to start my day really gentle. I've been loving listening to Classic FM. For anyone that saw the vlog where we went to the Pig back in kind of November time, and they constantly have Classic FM playing like when you go into your room, it was so nice. So I have been having that on whilst I start my work. If I want something a little bit more, like if you want to feel as somebody that kind of like works alone at home, not to feel like you have co-workers, but if you want that feeling of like there being other people around, obviously on the radio, that people are talking to you, then I'll put on Classic FM. If I really want to get in the zone focus, I'll pop a link to the playlist that I listen to. It's called something like Lo-Fi Beats to Study and Relax to. Sometimes I find classical music like almost a bit too fun, which might sound ridiculous. Lo-Fi Beats, I think it's called. It's just like soft music that really helps me get in the zone and get focused, but in a way that is like calming. They're like it's like soothing music. I put my music on, I go to my Notion calendar, and then I will get the 3 things that I wrote out yesterday for me to do today scheduled and planned into my calendar, so I know exactly when I'm doing them, and making sure that like my time blocks are accurate for when those things are actually going to happen. And then I get going. Honestly, I cannot recommend enough using the winter as an opportunity to revisit your routine. The way you start your day is the way you'll probably spend the rest of your day. And I think just knowing that you're investing in yourself and you're like putting things in place to take care of yourself, I think that boosts your confidence, it boosts your sense of accomplishment, and I don't know, it just like boosts your self-worth. Like, it's a lovely feeling to be looked after, and when you're looking after yourself, that's kind of like the nicest feeling of all. And yeah, for me, intense productivity is out in 2026 and gentle productivity is in. There's still loads of things I want. I still want to be achieving my goals, but in this darkness, in this cold, in this wet, we just have to revisit and get a little bit more creative about how we make the most of our days, because a lot of our days is spent in the dark. And for me, that means taking things slow and being gentle and discovering new hobbies and listening to classical music and nourishing my body, and we'll all emerge in spring like all the better for it. I'm 100% sure. Anyway, that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed spending the morning with me. Let me know if you want to see the evening routine version of this. Otherwise, I'll see you next week for another vlog. Thank you so much for watching. As always, have such a lovely week, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Bye guys.